Let's try to solve some problems that usually have some kind of decision making. That is if else, nested if. Let's see the first problem. Write a program that calculates a function y. The user needs to enter x. So our input is x. And y is calculated depending on the value of x. If x is negative, y will be x cubed plus 1. If x is 0, and if x is greater than 0. So how many possible values for x we have? Negative, 0, and greater than 0. So our input first is what? Okay. Okay, v1.python here. Okay. So our input is x, right? And I believe x is float here to make it general. And then we're going to say input enter x. And we don't know the value of y. However, if what we know, if x is less than 0, we're going to do something, right? ELIF x is equal 0. We're going to do another thing. And finally, else. So if x is 0, what's y? Is equal x, okay, star 3 plus 1. Is it? Okay. So now we are done with y. If x is 0, let's see what is y here. If x is 0, y squared 2x plus 10. So y is equal x squared plus 2a times x plus 10. Is this right? So maybe we need some brackets. Although x is 0, but yani, let's avoid any confusion by using brackets. Finally, if x is positive, x raised to which power, Everett? Minus 2 plus 10. So here, y is equal to x star minus 2 plus 10. Does that make sense? So now we are calculating y depending on the value of x. So finally, print. Okay, I can say here y is equal to y. So let's do the run here. Okay, so when we run this, what we get, enter x, let us say x is 0. Clearly, if x is 0, y will be 10 because all of these things are. So y is equal to 10. Good. So run again. Negative, minus 3. Minus 3 is going to be also 10 because minus 3, oh no, it's going to be some kind of 26 maybe, right? Good. Finally, we run it again. Let's enter a positive value, 3. And 3, this will be x raised to the power minus 2 plus 10. So that's what we get. So there is x input, 3 possible values. Calculate the value of y inside. No need to print y inside. Just print y after you finish all the possible choices. Inside the if else, just do the calculations. Most of the time, it's much better to just do one print at the end. So this is question 1. Let us see problem 2. Problem 2 here. Write a program that finds and prints the maximum of 3 integers. Clearly, our input is what? Integer. And the input is x, y, z. So we have 3 inputs. We need to find their maximum value. So 3 inputs, x is equal to integer input, enter x. And I believe there's something wrong. The file name is not Python, as you see. That's why you don't see that. So in case you make this, go ahead and rename it. And make sure the extension of the file is Python. Now we get things right, I believe. Good. So this is x. This is y. And finally, we'll say z, right? So enter x, enter y, and enter z. Good. So 3 integers input. Now, there are many ways how to solve this problem. I'll do it both ways. I still prefer for 3 values, I prefer this style. I would say max is equal to x, first value. So now whatever value you have in x is stored in another variable called what? Max. Now we need to check if y is greater than max, then max is equal to y. Do you get this, Yabana? So I can say if y is greater than max, then max is equal to what? Y. Now we need to check about z also. Again, this is another f. It's not LF. It could be, because y could be greater than x, and z could be greater than y. So it's not if else. If else when you have one choice, but in this example, no, it's two different if. If z is greater than max, again, then max is equal to what? Z. So now we will see some examples. Here I could say max is equal to and max. So I'll just see some examples here, and let's see what happens. Run. Let's run this. X is 10, Y is 88, and Z is 2. Let's look at the code and the values entered here. So now, X is 10. And line 4 now, max is equal to X. So what will be the value of max, Yabanat, in line 4 here? It will be 10, yes or no? Fine. Then, if Y is greater than max, is Y greater than max? So what happens? Max is equal to what? Y. So max will be 88. Do you agree? So let's go to line 7. If Z is greater than max, is Z, which is 2, greater than max? So the statement at line 8 will be skipped. Do you agree? So at the end, what will be in max? The largest value of the 3. Does that make sense? Let's try a different set of values. Minus 3, 9, and 99. What do you think is going to happen now? First time, max is equal to X, yes or no? So max is minus 3. Then, is Y greater than X? So Y is 9. So max will be equal to 9. Do you agree? So finally, at line 7, is Z, which is 99, is it greater than max? So max is equal to C. Do you see that all the time we get the largest value stored in where? In max. Taban, this question should assume that no two values are equal, but this is one way of doing it. There is another way that I don't prefer, but it works with 3 values. I can say if X is greater than Y and X is greater than Z. So this means what? X is greater than the 2 others, yes or no? Yeah. So here I can say print X. Else if Y is greater than X and Y is greater than Z. Does that make sense? So I would say here Y. Else print Z. So now it's either X or Y or Z. So if X is greater than both of them, then X is the largest. Else, if Y is greater than both of them, then Y is the largest. Otherwise, Z is the largest. So I will run this program with the same values, and we need to get 99, 0, and 234. So both of them output at what value? 234. Does that make sense? So if you have more than 3, 4 values, you need to use a loop, and you will see this in a different problem set. Question number 3. Rewrite the same program to find what? Minimum. That's easy. That's easy. So here, I will take the same code here. I'll create a new file, p3.python. I'll just do this, and here what I'm going to say. Minimum is equal to what? If Y is less than minimum, do you agree with this? Then minimum is equal to? It's just comparing the larger. Now I'll be comparing what? And if Z is less than minimum, does that make sense? So now what do I need to print at the end? Print. And here I would say what? Minimum is equal to min. So we are going most probably to get the same output. Let's clear some space. Run. Here. This is 9, 234. Did we get X? Let me run it with a new set of values, 88, 1, and minus 3. Did we get right result? So it's the same thing we are doing. You still can do the other style if X is less than Y and X is less than Z. Your algorithm should be correct. Maybe this is better, this is faster, but before comparing efficiency and speed, we need to make sure that the algorithm is what? Correct. Let's see question 4. Write a program that uses to if else to print the season name depending on the number of the input months. So يعني if the month is 11, 12, do you see this? So if the month is 4 or 5, it's going to be what? If the month 6, 7, 8 is going to be summer. And so our input should be somewhere between 1 and 12. I will add one thing to this, that we need to verify that the month name or month number is what? Is correct. So here I will just go here and p4.python. So here I'll say month, it should be integer, right? Is equal to integer input enter month number. Is this clear? So now we ask the user to enter the month number. First of all, we need to check the validity. Is it a valid month? If month is either check if it's greater than or equal to 1 and month is less than or equal to what? In this case, our month is what? Valid. Else, print what? Invalid month. And I need to go back to do the invalid month number. So if you go inside this F, it means the month is valid. Now, let us check anything like summer. If month is equal 6 or month is equal what? 7 or month is equal 8. But since this is a range, it's easier to say if month is greater than or equal to 6 and month is less than or equal to 8. Does that make sense? So what's included here? 6, 7, and 8. So print what? Hot summer. Tamam. Good. Now, ELIF. What do we have here? 9 and 10. So here I can say ELIF month equal 9 or month equal 10. Okay. Print false. What else? ELIF month. Let's see here what we have options. 4 and 5 spring, right? Equal 4 or month equal 5, right? Then what? Print spring. And else. Why I did this at the end? Because this is too much. 11, 12, 11, 1, 2, 3, whatever, right? If you are inside this one, then it's a valid month. Do you agree? So if it's not this or this or this, it's definitely going to be a valid month and one of those. So here, what should I print here? Winter. Does that make sense, Yabana? So now, this part will work only if the month is what? Else with what? Let's try this with the invalid month name. So I'll write 99. So I get invalid month number. Does that make sense? So we are doing good. Now, 2 should be what? Is it valid? Is this true? Is 2 greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to 12? Yes. So it will go inside here. None of them will be true, but the last else will be true, right? Good. Let us run again. I will enter something like July. July is somewhere between 6 and 8, right? Is it in this range? Does that make sense, Yabanat? One final attempt here. Let me enter anything like 3. Winter. And let's test 4, spring. That's it. So we solved this question. We did some kind of validation, although not mentioned in the question, but now our solutions are right. And if our input is valid, it goes to the inner if here, where we have an if, elif, else. Okay, let's see the next one. Write a program that converts Celsius temperature to what? Fahrenheit or, oh, it's not to both. Yani it's either Fahrenheit or Kelvin. Tamam. The user enters F for what? Fahrenheit and K for. Your program should work on both small and capital case letters of F. Yani if they use, because F capital is not like F small. So look at the sample run. You enter first what? Temperature in what? Celsius. Then the user selects either F or what? If the user inputs F, then temperature will be converted to what? Kelvin. If he enters Fahrenheit, if he enters K, Kelvin. And it should work whether what? Capital or small. However, here in this sample run, the user enters what? Is it one of the valid choices? So what the user gets here. So did you get the output now? So let's see how our program is going to run. So create P5 and let's see how we're going to run it. So first, our input is Celsius. Do you get this? So is it going to be float or integer? Float, definitely. Enter Celsius temperature. Good. Now we need to ask one question. Look at the question here. What we ask here, convert what? To either Kelvin or what? So here I say choice is equal to input. And ask the user that question. Did you get why I copied that? Okay. So now, what question will be seen by the user? And whatever he inputs will be stored where? Good. تمام. خلاص. بس خلاص. If choice equal capital F or choice equal small f, then we need to calculate to what? Fahrenheit, صح? Which is 1.8 times C plus 32. Does that make sense? Did we convert to Fahrenheit? I can print it now. I would sometimes need to print inside the if statement if there is a specific special things that I need to do here. So now let's see what I'm going to do. Print F, and here I would say C Celsius. Look here why I did this inside. In Fahrenheit. Okay. Equivalent or equals, and here F. And since these are temperatures, I prefer doing some kind of what? Like put 2F, and here some kind of format 2F, and okay, good. Now, ELIF choice is equal what now? Capital K or choice equal what? Small k. Does that make sense, ya banat? I'll just copy paste these things and do it quickly. Is this clear? So now see, Kelvin is equal to what? 273.15 plus C. And here I'm going to say Celsius in what, ya banat? Kelvin. And I need to calculate what here? K, not C, right? Does that make sense? Are we done? But still, if choice is F, else if K. If it's not F or K, it means the user have input something what? Invalid. So what do we think here? It's always good to tell the user that something wrong happened. Invalid choice entered. Does that make sense? So let's run this. I am now at line 1. Do you agree, Abanat? Look at it. Is it line 1? I'll enter 40. Now I am at line 2. Someone is going to ask me about what? The choice. I'll enter K, small k. So what's going to happen? Line 3 is going to be false. So it's going to go to line 6. Line 6 is going to be true. So it's going to calculate K and print, right? That's it. So 40 Celsius in Kelvin is equal to that much. Run again with Fahrenheit now. So this is 40, and I'll type capital F now. So 40 Celsius in Fahrenheit is equal to that much. Let me just clear some real estate here and run. And now I'm entering 40, but this time by mistake I entered what? N. Is it one of the valid choices? So what should I do here? Invalid choice entered. So we verified and validated our input. We did the conversion and we printed like what? A tailored method depending on the type of the input made by the user. Question 6. Write a program that inputs 3 integers from the keyboard and prints the sum, average, product, smallest, and largest. This is very simple, by the way. We just did half of this one. What do we need to find? Sum, average, what else? Smallest and largest. In order to do this, I'll copy paste some code from question 1 and 2, right? So this is going to be problem 6.python. And this is here, I'm inputting 3 values, yes or no? Let's find their sum. What's their sum? Sum is equal x plus what? Y plus what? Z. What's their product? Is equal x times y times what? Z. Average. What's their average? AVG is equal sum divided by 3. Yes or no? صح? And what do we need now? Minimum and? I'm going to go and I'm not going to repeat this. I'm going to find the maximum somewhere here. Yes or no? So this is maximum here now. So this is minimum. And now I'm calculating what? Maximum. Does that make sense, ya banat? So this is very simple. I just need to output what? Print what? Sum. Okay, let me just do one message here for all of them. Okay. Sum is equal to sum. And I would do comma what? Average is equal to AVG and comma product is equal to bro. Does that make sense? And let me just close this. Minimum and maximum are taken care of later here. Run, enter 3 values, 4, 55, and 1. Sum is equal to that much, and minimum is equal to 1, and largest is 55. Try it with another set of values. Okay, run here. Okay, 9 and minus 5 and 1. Is this clear, ya banat? So max is 9, minimum is minus 5, sum, average, everything is fine. Let's see this question. This question needs some kind of brainstorming. You know, سنة بسيطة وسنة كبيسة وسنة مش عارف مين. صح ولا لا? This year, for example, how many days in February we have? Yeah, أظن 29, huh? Can we double check? أوبا، إيش عنا؟ طيب، يا بنات. Some problems are complicated يعني. بس يعني if you solve حتة حتة, one step at a time, you solve it. You need to understand the problem outside programming world and Python. يعني if I'm teaching you astronomy, فلك, and ask you, is this year leap or a simple year? You need to do it. If you don't understand it without computers, and then you cannot apply it here. You get that? So how do you know that? A leap year is divisible by 4, but not divisible by. Wow. ايش يعني? يعني it's if you divide it by 4, remainder is 0. But by 100 is not 0. تمام؟ يعني it's divisible by 4 بس هاي. Except مش كلهم لسه. Except for the years that are divisible by what? السنة اللي بتقسم على 400 بتطلع ليب. إذا بتقسم على 4 لازم ما تكون تقسم على كم؟ على 100. هدول هم اثنين اللي ممكن يطلعوا ايش؟ خلينا نشوف. Years that are divisible by 4 but not by 100 are what? Okay. Years that are divisible by 4 and 100 are what? هدول لا. يعني هي لازم تكون تقسم على 4 بس على 100 ما تقسم. يعني يضل باقي. السنين اللي بتقسم على 400 هدول سهلين، جماعة طيبين بسيطين، أمورهم طيبة. إيش على طول بيطلعوا إيش؟ يعني عندنا 4 احتمالات. تقسم على 4 بس على 100 لا. تقسم على 400 هدول اللي بيطلعوا. بس اللي بتقسم على 4 و100 هدول شو؟ نطلب. يلا خلينا نشوف. So P7 dot Python. Year, صح? Integer, right? So the user is going to input some value like integer here. Enter year. تمام? Good. يلا. Now we need to find. خلينا نبدأ من السهل. If year modulus 4 equal 0. هيك means what? تقسم على 4 وبضلش باقي، صح ولا لا؟ لا مش 4، احنا بدنا 400، صح؟ هدول السنوات هاي وات برنت وات اف على طول ايش راح نقول له؟ year اللي هي مين؟ year، صح؟ اوكي؟ is leap. Does that make sense؟ خلصنا من هاي. ها؟ ما نعقدها، بنحل واحدة واحدة، صح؟ الاختيار الثاني ال اف، شو عنا قال هو؟ اف وات؟ year divide modulus what؟ 4 equal what؟ 0 and بس ما بتقسم على 100. year modulus what؟ 100 not equal what؟ What does this mean؟ تقسم على 4 بس ما بتقسم على ايش؟ هاي برضو راح تكون ايش؟ ماشي؟ good؟ موافقين؟ else راح نقول له ايش؟ نجرب نعطي ارقام او ها. Let's just do this now. good. يلا نجرب. enter year 2024. ها طيب ماشي امورنا. good. some input here maybe. okay, let's just do it. I like the output to look nice here. okay, run. 2023 اكيد مش لا بتقسم على 100 ولا 4 ولا 400 ولا شيء، صح ولا لا؟ run. 2020 اكيد ليب لانه كل 4 سنين، تعرفوا كيف. 1600 تقسم على 4 وتقسم على كيف؟ بتقسم على 100 وبتقسم على 400 بس. فهي راح تروح من وين راح تروح؟ من الجماعة اللي بيقسموا على ايش؟ اي شيء بيقسم على 400 راح يكون ايش؟ وفهمتوا علي كيف؟ فهي راح تروح ضمن مين؟ ايوه، هي صحيح بتقسم على 100 وعلى 4 بس هي اصلا بتقسم على ايش؟ هلا راح اعدل الشرط انا. يعني راح اقول له 2000 ليب، صح؟ طيب هلا انا هون حددنا ليب. على فكره كان ممكن اعقد الشرط انا، خليكي معي. كان ممكن اعقد الشرط، كان ممكن اقول له ELIF or يعني اذا واحده منهم ترو معناته ايش؟ يعني هلا ما في داعي للشرط الاول، بس انا فرجيتكم اياه ستيب ستيب. ها يعني اذا بتقسم على 4 بس مش على 100 او بتقسم على ايش؟ كان بدك تقولي لي اياه بس كان ما بقدر اشرحه من البدايه هيك، صح؟ كان ما بضل حدا في الكلاس، صح؟ مزبوط. هلا نجرب نعطيه امثله. اوكي 2024 تمام، نعطيه 1999. Does that make sense? Sometimes many problems seems difficult but if we take it حتة حتة حبة حبة بيمشي الحال. Did we solve this? Okay. Write a complete Python program that that displays and calculates flight tickets between two cities. 3 classes of tickets. Okay. خلينا نشوفهم. Kids they get how much discount? 30%. Oh. Okay. The program needs to display error message if the user inputs invalid class. So how many classes we have here? Economy, business, and so the user needs to enter either what? 1 or 2, or if you input something wrong, is it a valid? Then you enter the what? how many what? Adults. And if you look at this, yeah, the input will be class. Which class you want? How many adults and how many what? Kids. Then we calculate the total. In this example, the user here enters what? 4. Do we have a class 4? So على طول we would say what? Tamam. Let's do this now. So what's our first input? Okay, integer, input, enter, class. However, this way, the user, okay, tamam. So this way we enter a class. However, the user needs to know what we talk about, right? So let's go to the here. I'll just copy paste one of them and see here, print. Okay, this is economy. You get what I want, صح ولا لا, right? So now economy will be 1, and I'm going to take business, and finally first class, right? So here print business, and finally first class. Always give the user as much as information he needs. Your program is going to be even easier. Tamam. So let's just do this, print 3 first class, and that's it. So now what do we need to ask the user? Enter the class. It's always a good idea to tell him 1 or 2 or what? 3. Good. What's the error here? Class is equal. ايش الغلط؟ على فكرة مش عارف ايش الغلط. I think this word I cannot use. This is not allowed. This is a Python word that has different use. So choice, I'll call it. معاي انتو? I cannot use a class as a variable name because it's a reserved word, keyword. So now, kids or adults equals integer. How many adults? And next I'll ask him what? I will ask him how many what? Kids. And now I have how many variables? Kids, right? Now, total. But can I calculate total if the choice is wrong? صح؟ طب شو رأيكم? If choice is greater than or equal to 1 and choice is less than or equal to 3, is this going to be a valid choice? كيف? Choice is greater than or equal to 1 and what? Choice is less than or equal to 3. Is it a valid choice? طيب يعني هيك in this case else means what? Print what? Invalid choice entered, right? You need to get rid of these things first. Invalid choice entered. So now if we go inside this, it means your choice is what? Valid. يلا. Total is equal to what? يلا قولوا لي. Total is equal to what? Adults times what? Times حسب. Now we need to calculate it for each choice, صح? Now if choice is equal 1, then total is equal to what? Adults times كم سعر الكبار؟ 3500, right? Plus kids times what? مش 3500 كم لهم خصم الكيدز؟ يعني times 0.7. Do you agree يا بنات؟ Yes or no؟ صح؟ بس خلاص. ما هو عليه 30% خصم للأطفال، صح؟ ELIF choice is equal what? 2. I just need to change what here? I need, what is the price of economy? Business 5100. تمام. Good. طبعا of course else here, if you are inside here, it means you are right, صح? But you need to use which class, which price? The first class. What's the first class price? 7,300, and that's it now. Good. And finally you print total price. Yeah, you can do whatever now. I'll say what? Sorry, here. What did I calculate here? Total. Okay. Total. Good. Yalla, run. Enter choice 1. What's wrong here, ya Banat? What did I enter wrong? Okay, just let me see. Something is wrong. Let me save. Sometimes there is nothing, okay? And just save it and run. Input. This is a common mistake, okay? So here input and end, and also here input. ماشي, run. So here one adult, 1 kid. I think the calculation is what? Right. Let me do this again. 2, 1 adult, 2 kids. And finally, I will output, see here, I will input wrong choice. Invalid choice entered. And now, I can see now, if I run this, I want you to see this error. If I run this now, let me just clear some space here, run. If I enter 8, is it a valid choice? طيب, no need to enter kids and high. We prefer sometimes, if the main choice is wrong, don't ask the user about what. So now, what do you think I need to do? I will take these 2 questions. I'll put them inside what? Inside the block of F, not a loop. Does that make sense? So now I'll only ask you about these things if your choice is what? يعني تخيل أسألك 30 سؤال, هو السؤال الإجابة الأولى أصلا كانت إيش? Does that make sense? So now I'll tell you 9, you'll tell me what? You will not ask me about those options, right? You get this. So this way, خلاص, يعني the user knows, and see, you save a lot of time and money. ماشي الحال? I believe we solved this question. ماشي? Good. The fast freight shipping company charges the following rates. شركة شحن. Okay. شركة شحن عندهم إذا من 2 pounds or less بأخذوا كم؟ $1.50. وإذا الزون من 6 ل 10. يعني إيش اللي بيحكم السعر هون؟ What the price is what? Decided by what? The weight, صح؟ الوزن. What here? Which zone? من وين لوين؟ الزون ممكن يكون بعيد الشحن. هلا احنا look at the run. You input the weight. What's the weight here يا بنات؟ You input the zone. يعني 2.8 يا بنات. تمام؟ والزون كم؟ 2.8. هل هو أكثر من 2 وأقل من 6؟ Yes or no؟ والزون 5. إذا بيجي السعر وين؟ لاحظتوا كيف يعني؟ Do you see this؟ طيب لو كانت هاي 1 بيجي تحت مين؟ 2 باوند والزون ايش؟ 5. لو كان باوند 1 بس بعتها على زون 9 وين راح يروح يعني السعر؟ وصلت الفكرة؟ السؤال هذا مش سهل، بده نحسب أول شيء على الوزن، بعدين نحسب على مين؟ على الزون. ماشي الحال. So يعني look at this and we will see. I'll just copy something from here. Okay, I will do this 9.python here. So here I'll just say weight is equal to W in integer. Is it float? Weight is float, right? Input, enter weight of the package. Does that make sense now? Now zone. What is the zone يا بنات? Integer, right? Because it's going to be either what? 1 to 10, صح? Enter zone. Destination zone عشان يكون أوضح. وهي قلنا لليوزر حتى ايش؟ Good. So now you have the weight and what? The zone. نرجع للسؤال. طيب شو رايكم اذا الويت نيجاتيف او الزون غلط من اولها نقول له باي، صح ولا لا؟ بنخليها فوق. So can I say if weight is less than 0 or zone is less than 0 or مش and zone is greater than what? In this case invalid weight or zone number entered. Is this good? Now we tell the user what يا بنات here? Either you input it what? Invalid weight or what? else معناته ايش؟ البيانات صحيحة اللي معناها بدنا نشتغل هلا صح؟ اوكي يلا كيف بدنا نحل المشكلة هون؟ We need to solve a problem one by one. تعالوا نشوف اللي هم أقل من 2 ورايحين على زون إيش؟ بين 1 و5. هدول كم على السعر تبعهم؟ هذا السعر على مين؟ على الباوند. تمام؟ So if weight is less than what? 2. less than or equal to 2 يمكن هي. هلا إذا الويت أقل أو equal to 2 بدنا نسأل إيش؟ إذا الزون أقل من 5 راح نحسب هاي، وإذا الزون مش أقل من 5 شو راح نحسب؟ هاي. إذا if zone طبعا في أقول له if weight أقل من 2 and zone is less than or equal to 5 I can say this. تمام؟ then I can say price is equal to what يا بنات here؟ كم السعر؟ 1.5 صح؟ price is equal weight times what? 1.5. Does that make sense? if weight is less than or equal to 2 and zone is less than or equal to 10 then price is equal كم حطينا السعر هون 2.5. yes or no? W times what? 2.5. do you get this يا بنات؟ اوكي جود. هلا نروح لمين؟ للي هو الويت لسه اكثر من 2 بس اقل من كم؟ خلاص انا ما راح اعمل حل، راح اعمل كوبي بيست. هيك شوفوا else if weight اكبر من 2 and استنوا شوي بدي اعملها بطريقه شوي مختلفه شوي and weight is still اقل من مين؟ اقل او يساوي كم؟ هو هيك السؤال not more than. هلا احنا بس سالنا على الويت على فكره ما سالنا على الزون هون لانه هون سهله، هون بنقول له اقل من 2. هلا اذا الويت هون يعني احنا وين هلا؟ وين الويت؟ هاي شايفينها؟ هلا احنا تاكدنا من وين؟ من الويت هاد. ضل نساله على مين؟ اوكي هلا في اجي اساله جوا وفي اعقدها اذا بدكم and zone is less than or equal to what؟ حسب الاوبشنز اللي عندنا. then price قديش بروح؟ 3. هلا كل واحد هو else بدها تكون ايش؟ لسه نفس الهاي بس ايش اللي بيختلف معنا؟ الزون اقل او يساوي كم؟ 10 صح؟ اذا كم بده ياخذ على الهاي؟ 4.5 صح؟ اللي هو 4 و7. تمام. طيب وغير هيك ايوه هاي سهله اكيد لانه هاي راح نقول له ايش؟ else. بس ليش سهله هاي؟ لانه فوق تاكدنا انه كل الاذر اوبشنز فيه راح نمسكهم هون او هون، واذا الانبوت غلط سواء وزن او زون راح نتخلص منه وين؟ يا بس خلاص. اذا هير برايس كم السعر؟ 6 double u times what؟ 6. does that make sense? so here Brent صح؟ F shipping اوكي pounds هيك pounds hopefully هم بيستخدموا الاختصار LBS الباوندز هيك بشوفهم from to zone صح؟ هون zone اوكي charges equals what? Price. Should I come on? Here we're gonna say what? Price. Does that make sense, ya banat? Good. So this is how we solve problems like this. Let us run and now see what happens. I will select the cheapest one here. راح ابعت باوند واحد لزون 3 يعني بكم؟ Okay. I'm gonna send £1 here to zone 3 and £1 to zone 3 charges 6. Why? If weight is less than or equal to, it is less than or equal to, and zone is less than or equal 5. Price is what? Okay. So here is, greater than 5 here. This should be changed. There is an error here. Greater than 5. Otherwise, it will be on both of them. Tamam. Okay. This is greater than 5 also to avoid what? Being caught by multiple options. Now let us just restart this. And here I see £1 to zone 1. Okay, still takes $6. Let me see why. 1 is less than 2 and zone is less than 5. Less than 2 and zone is greater than 5. So this one is not going to be 6. So let me make sure W is float, zone, and weight. And okay, less than or equal to 1 and zone. I still see my solution goes to this one. So let us see less than 1 and zone less than or equal to 5. So I'll just input again 1 and 1. Let me just save. I have some doubts about. Okay, run here. Okay, enter the weight of the package 1, zone 1. I still get 6. No need to get 6. It should be fixed somewhere here. If W is less than 1 and zone is less than or equal to 5. Okay, or zone, tamam. So it comes somewhere here, but I don't see it here. Else, if W is less than, let me just print a message here to see if it comes here or not. Maybe it goes to more than one place. Actually, it goes to more than one place, and there is a mistake clearly. I will try to solve this mistake here. I think all of them should be ELIF, because it should be one of them only. And now if I run this now, let me input 1 and 1. So now I get it correct. It's going to be one of them is going to be true. So if W here, I get it right now. Now all my solution options have been taken care of. Let me enter 3 and 3. 3 and 3 goes here. Excellent. Zone is less than 5. Let me enter 3 and 6, which goes to here. This one. 3 and 6. 3 and 6. Excellent. And now let me just go to 10 and 10. And goes to $6 per pound, which is the last one. Solution completed.